This is Lynn Liaz, and I have Colin with Noble Gold with me today. Hello, Colin. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Lynn. Thanks for having me today.
Well, it is great to have you back. We always have, a little interesting conversation that I think is very beneficial for my listeners. In fact, there's a Congress bill that was submitted in March, and I would like for you to explain to everybody how that is going to affect us in regards to inflation and things like that.
Yeah, it's Bill H.R. 5404, submitted by Alexander Mooney, who's a congressman out of Virginia, Republican congressman. And basically, the bill outlines why we should go back onto a fixed rate, fixing the dollar back to gold. And really, he talks about what you and I have talked about a lot on this show is that the money supply and the printing of money by the Fed is getting out of control. And so he outlines, and it's actually a really good bill to read. I recommend anyone to read it. You can go to the Congress website, and pretty simple document. One of the highlights of the bill, he talks about just inflation based on the government's numbers. He says if the government mandates inflation at 2% every year, which most people, including myself, believe inflation is much higher than 2%. But let's say we go by what the government says it is at 2% a year. Every 35 years, our money drops in half. Our buying power drops in half. So we lose half of our value of our currency. And that is a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people that save money, people that put money in a savings account, your money is just dwindling away into nothing. He goes back even to 2000, which is just 18 years. The dollar has lost 30% of its value just in the last 18 years. So he breaks down what's happening with our money supply. He says that if we can go back to a gold standard, that would limit the amount of dollar devaluation. It would limit the Congress's spending of money, which is a big problem. Obviously, we know we're in unbelievable debt, and you and I could never run our household the way that Congress and the government runs its budget. And so he basically outlines putting us back on the gold standard so we can get our house in order, so that our dollar doesn't become worthless, so that we can actually maintain our value of our currency. Because really, currency is supposed to hold value. It's not supposed to drop 30% in 18 years. It's not supposed to drop in half every 35 years. And so for everybody that saves money, they know this is happening. They look at the price of milk, orange juice, every time they go to the supermarket, and every day the price of our dollar, the value of our currency is dropping. And so this bill is to help us avoid going into a hyperinflation or heavy inflationary situation. And so with our currency, our dollar can actually be worth something. I sent you, we were talking about it a little bit off air, we were talking about this currency from Zimbabwe. This is a $10 billion note from Zimbabwe. And this is a currency, and a lot of people say, oh, this can never happen in modern day. That currency, that $10 billion note was in circulation in 2007. So they actually had something that people were using every day that had $10 billion on it, and it was worth about $1.50 in US dollars. So these things can happen. It's something we talk about, is just making sure that your money is taken care of, and that we, hopefully with this bill, if it passes, we can be in a position where we could reduce our debt, reduce our spending, and this is going to really help normal people that save money, that put money in their bank accounts. Because right now, putting your money in a bank account right now, making 0.25%, you're never going to be able to retire. You're never going to be able to afford any of the things that you need to retire. And that's why a lot of people have been calling us, because they know that gold and silver are a very good option. It's a good alternative to paper money and equities. And so it's something that people should keep their eyes on. And I think this HR 5404 bill is something that a lot of people should really take a look at.
So, Colin, that's pretty interesting, everything that you explained. So, how can Noble Gold help the listeners and help them against these things that are coming upon us, to be prepared?
Well, there's a few things you can do. I think one of the things, we just wrapped up taxes, so a lot of people were looking at their portfolios, they were looking at their 401ks, and really seeing if it's performing the way that they'd like. So if you have an IRA or an old 401k and you've thought about putting it into something tangible, something that you own, the great thing about our investments is that they're not a fund. You actually own the metal. It's not an ETF, so you're in control of it. All the IRAs that we do are self-directed. We help you acquire the metal, but really the client is the owner of all the metal. They're in charge of it. We just help facilitate it. So for someone that wants to take back the control of their retirement account and they're unhappy with where they're at, we can assist them with that. We do all the paperwork. I think people, once they realize that they can do something like this, that they don't have to be in a mutual fund of metals, they don't have to be in a mining area, which is much more risky and speculative. We can help them move into something more tangible. Or if they have some money in a savings account and they want to get it out of there and they want to put it in something tangible, something like gold and silver, we can assist them with that too. I was showing you this is a 100-ounce silver bar that someone can get delivered to their doorstep. It's pretty heavy there. It's almost about 7 pounds of silver. So that could be something that people could look into. But ultimately, we just ask, if people are interested in this, that they call us and get our free guides and, ask a lot of questions about how the process works.
And for those of you listening, the link will be posted below this video in the video description. And I also will post it as the very top comment. It'll be pinned to the top, so you can go check out Noble Gold. And why don't you go ahead and give them the link, Colin?
Yeah, Noble Gold Investments. Our phone line is open 24 hours. If it's anytime you're watching this video, you call in, you want any of the free guides, you can just leave a message. The toll-free number is 877-646-5347. Anyone here can assist, answer questions. We have guides about gold. We have guides specifically about silver. We also have a guide about Bitcoin. If someone wants to learn about Bitcoin for an IRA, we offer that also. That's not for everybody. It's obviously much more speculative. Gold is a much more secure investment. But if someone's looking for an alternative, that is something that they can do with us also. Or if they just want to learn about it, they can call in and we can email them the free guide. So a lot of people have been asking, they want to learn about cryptocurrencies, and our guide, we've broken it down so it's really simple and easy to understand. So if they're just looking for that free information, they can call in or they can request the information on the link below this video.
Okay, well, and I hope all of you out there listening will at least go check out their website or make the phone call and get some information, because we are living in some very serious times where things are going to happen and we need to be prepared. There's nothing like being prepared when stuff happens, that's for sure. So, Colin, I just want to thank you for joining me. And thank you for all the great information, and thank you for sponsoring me too. I appreciate you and Charles over there at Noble Gold, and you guys are a blessing.
Thank you, Lynn. Bless you. All the blessings to you, and excited. Always happy to talk to you, and looking forward to more talks in the future.